Welcome to Learn English Fast. Speak English with confidence. Hello everyone, and welcome back to the English Learning Podcast. My name is Leon, and I'm truly happy that you're here with me today. Before we begin, take a deep breath. You made time to listen, to grow, and to improve, and that already says something powerful about you. In this episode, we're going to explore something meaningful, something that connects language learning with life itself. Dreams and goals in English. Now, you might wonder, why this topic? Because learning English is not just about grammar or vocabulary. It's about expressing your heart, your ideas, and your hopes for the future. Every time you speak about what you want to become, you bring your dream one step closer to reality. Think about it. When you meet a new person, one of the first questions they ask is, "What do you want to do in the future?" Or maybe in a job interview, someone says, "Tell me about your goals." Even in casual conversations with family or friends, we often talk about what we hope for, what we're chasing, what we want to achieve. That's why today's lesson is not just about English, it's about learning to share your heart in English. So, stay with me till the end of this episode. If you sometimes feel nervous, shy, or unsure about how to talk about your dreams, don't worry. By the time we finish, you'll feel more confident, more fluent, and more connected to your goals. Let's begin with the basics. What exactly are dreams and goals? A dream is something big, something that comes from deep inside your imagination. It's not just a thought, it's a feeling, a vision of what your life could be. A dream might be something you want to become, something you want to do, or even something you want to experience. For example, my dream is to become a pilot. Or her dream is to travel across the world. Dreams are powerful because they give us energy, hope, and a reason to move forward. Even when they seem far away, they light up the path ahead of us. Now, what about goals? A goal is more specific. It's like a bridge that connects where you are to where you want to be. While a dream is the big picture, a goal is the plan, the step you can take today. For example, my goal is to finish my English course this year. Or my goal is to practice speaking every day. Dreams inspire you, but goals guide you. Imagine this. Your dream is to become a teacher. Your goals could be to study education, to volunteer at a school, and to practice speaking in front of people. Step by step, those goals turn your dream into something real. So, remember this. Dreams are what you wish for. Goals are what you work for. But here's the real question. Why does it matter to talk about dreams and goals in English? First, because communication connects people. When you can share your dreams in English, you open doors. You connect with others in conversations, in interviews, and even online. For example, someone might ask, "Where do you see yourself in 5 years?" And when you can answer confidently in English, you show not only your language skills but your vision for your life. Second, it matters for education and work. If you ever apply for a scholarship, study abroad, or attend a job interview, people will ask about your goals. When you answer clearly, "My goal is to improve my communication skills," or "My dream is to study computer science and help others through technology," you leave a strong impression. And third, it's about self-belief. When you talk about your dreams in English, you give life to them. You turn invisible thoughts into spoken words. And when words come out of your mouth, they start to feel real. That's how confidence grows, not from perfection, but from expression. Let's take a simple example. Imagine you say, "My dream is to travel and help people around the world." It's short, but it's strong. It tells others who you are and what you care about. You're not just learning English, you're using English to tell your story. That's why this topic matters. Dreams and goals are not just grammar practice. They are ways to express your soul. Now let's learn a few powerful words and phrases that can help you. Repeat them with me if you can. It helps your pronunciation and memory. Dream, something big you wish for. Example, my dream is to be a pilot. Goal, something you plan to achieve. Example, my goal is to pass the English test. Ambition, a strong desire to succeed. Example, her ambition is to start her own business. Plan, something you decide to do in the future. Example, I plan to study abroad next year. Achieve, to succeed in reaching something. Example, Leon achieved his goal of learning English fluently. Success, the result of your effort. Example, finishing school was a big success for me. Hope, something you want to happen. Example, I hope to visit London one day. Future, the time that is coming, not now. Example, in the future, I want to help people. Now, let's put these into real use. You can say, my dream is to become a teacher. I hope to learn English well. I would like to travel to Canada. My goal is to improve my speaking. In the future, I want to start a business. I plan to take the IELTS exam next year. One day, I want to write a book. See how simple and natural they sound. That's the beauty of English. You don't need complicated words to express big dreams. You just need sincerity and practice. Here's your small challenge for today. Choose one dream and one goal from your own life, and say them out loud in English. For example, my dream is to be an engineer. My goal is to finish my studies this year. Say it with belief. Don't just memorize it. Feel it. Because when you speak your dreams, you begin to live them. And remember, you're not alone. Every person who ever succeeded once felt uncertain. But they spoke their dreams anyway. And that's where their journey began. So, keep going. Keep learning. Keep believing. This is Leon, and you're listening to the English Learning Podcast. Let's continue this journey together. Leon stood by his small apartment window, staring at the city lights that shimmered like stars scattered on the ground. His reflection in the glass looked tired, but alive with a strange kind of determination. The last few weeks had been exhausting. Between his job at the cafe and his night English classes, sleep had become a luxury. But inside him, something kept whispering, "Don't stop now." He remembered the day he first joined the English Learning Podcast community. Back then, he barely understood a full sentence. Now, he could listen, understand, and even repeat with confidence. But deep inside, he knew, speaking fluently wasn't just a dream anymore. It was his goal. That night, Leon sat at his desk and opened his notebook. The pages were full of words, phrases, mistakes, and notes from the podcast. On top of one page, he had written in big letters, "Dream, speak English with confidence. Goal, practice every day until I feel it." He smiled. It wasn't just about learning a language, it was about transforming who he was. He whispered softly, "One day, I'll speak so confidently that I won't even think in my old language anymore. It'll just flow. Naturally." His heart raced a little at the thought. That was the fire, the same fire Henry once talked about in the podcast, the flame that pushes you forward even when no one sees your struggle. He turned on the episode about dreams and goals again, and Henry's voice filled the room. Dreams are what you wish for. Goals are what you work for. Leon repeated the line, word for word. Dreams are what you wish for. Goals are what you work for. His voice shook a bit, but there was pride in it. Every repetition was a small victory. Every sentence was one step closer. The fear of failure still lingered in his chest, but now it was joined by something stronger, courage. That mix of fear and faith was what kept him alive. The next morning, Leon woke up early. The sky was still dark. He looked at himself in the mirror and said out loud, "My dream is to be confident. My goal is to never give up." It sounded simple, but it felt powerful. He could almost hear Henry's encouraging tone saying, "Don't just say it. Feel it." So Leon did. He felt the words deep inside. He practiced pronunciation, mimicking every pause, every rhythm from the podcast. The fear of being laughed at or making mistakes had once been his biggest wall, but now it was his fuel. Every wrong word made him better. Every failed attempt pushed him harder. Later that day, Leon met his friend Mila at the park. She had been learning with him since the beginning. "You're improving so fast," she said, smiling. I remember when you used to be scared to even say hello. Leon laughed softly. Yeah, I used to freeze. But now, I just speak. Even if it's not perfect, I speak. Mila nodded. That's the secret. Confidence first. Perfection later. Those words echoed in his mind for hours. Confidence first, that was it. That was the missing piece he had been chasing. That evening, while walking home, Leon saw a small group of tourists asking for directions. His heart started beating faster. His first instinct was to walk away, the old Leon's habit. But then, he stopped. This is your moment, a voice whispered inside. He took a breath, stepped forward, and said, Excuse me, do you need help? The tourists turned, relieved. They asked about a nearby station, and Leon explained, slowly, clearly. His accent was there, but his confidence was louder. When they thanked him, he smiled, not just with his lips, but with his soul. That small act was huge for him. He had spoken English to strangers, in public, without fear. That night, Leon wrote in his notebook, Today, I used English in real life. It felt like a dream turning real. As the days passed, Leon's practice became part of his life. He didn't force it anymore, it was natural, like breathing. Each word he learned carried emotion, effort, and hope. Some nights, when exhaustion took over, he'd still press play on Henry's podcast before sleeping. The words about dreams and goals became like a lullaby, a reminder that growth takes time but never stops. He'd close his eyes, smile faintly, and whisper, One day, I'll tell my story in English too. And deep inside, he knew, that day was coming soon. Because dreams aren't just to be imagined. They're meant to be lived, word by word, step by step, heart by heart. Leon woke up to the sound of rain tapping against his window. Soft, rhythmic, almost comforting. For a moment, he just lay there, listening. His mind drifted to the sentence he wrote last night. Today, I used English in real life. It felt like a dream turning real. He smiled faintly. That feeling still lingered, the thrill of courage, the warmth of progress. But beneath it, there was a quiet question whispering in his chest. What's next? That question haunted him all morning. He made coffee, looked out the window, and thought about everything Henry had said in the podcast. Dreams are not the end. They are the beginning. He repeated it under his breath. Maybe this was it, the next step. Not just learning English for himself, but living it, using it to connect, to grow, to inspire. When Leon arrived at the cafe, the smell of roasted beans filled the air. He tied his apron and began his shift, serving customers one by one. It was an ordinary day, until a couple from London walked in. They smiled and said, Good morning. Leon froze for a split second. His heart raced, his palms felt warm, but he didn't back away this time. Good morning, he replied, voice steady. They ordered, asked a few questions about the city, and he answered, every word in English, every phrase filled with confidence and emotion. When they left, one of them said, You speak really well. Leon's chest swelled with quiet pride. He didn't just understand, he connected. That moment stayed with him long after his shift ended. Later, while cleaning the tables, he whispered, This is what I wanted, not just words, connection. That night, he walked home in the rain. The city lights reflected off the wet streets, painting everything in gold and silver. He thought about the journey, the fear, the stumbles, the endless hours of repetition. It all led to this, a simple conversation, a moment that proved how far he'd come. Fear used to control me, he said softly, but now, I walk beside it. When he reached home, he took out his notebook again. The pages had started to curl from use, but every mark, every scribble was a story of effort. He wrote, Dream achieved, I spoke with confidence. New goal, help others find their voice too. As soon as he wrote it, something inside him shifted. Maybe his dream wasn't just about speaking English. Maybe it was about empowering others to believe they could too. He opened the podcast again, the same familiar intro, Henry's steady voice. But this time, it felt different. It wasn't a teacher speaking anymore, it was a companion, a reminder of the road he had traveled. Leon listened quietly, tears welling in his eyes, not of sadness but of pride. He whispered, "Thank you, Henry. You changed my life." Weeks later, Leon stood in front of a small classroom at a local community center. On the whiteboard, he had written in bold letters, "Speak without fear." The students looked nervous, just like he once had. He smiled gently and said, "My name is Leon. A few years ago, I couldn't even introduce myself in English. But now, I'm here to help you believe you can too." The words flowed naturally, full of warmth, honesty, and courage. Every student listened, eyes bright with hope. Leon continued, "Don't chase perfection. Chase progress. Even one word spoken with confidence is a victory." As he watched their faces light up, he realized something. This was his real dream all along. Not just to speak, but to inspire others to speak. His heart felt full. The fear was gone. The journey had come full circle. That night, as he left the center, the city lights once again shimmered around him. The rain had stopped, and the air felt fresh, alive with possibility. He looked up at the sky, smiled, and whispered, "I made it." But deep inside, he knew, it wasn't the end. It was just another beginning. Because dreams never really end. They just evolve into something even more powerful.